Hello there, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the Shock. I said yesterday I was going to be doing my sharpening videos. I had this knife come in today. I've been waiting for it. It's taken about 12 days, 13 days, I think, actually, which is normally about 10. And it's my first ever buying an American knife at an American price. And I only had to pay $3.60 for delivery to the UK from Massdrop, which is brilliant. I am over the moon. So you can see it's the Gent, and it's the Ferrum Forge Gent. And I would just like to make this statement. The boys at Ferrum Forge did not give me this to review, neither did Massdrop. But, so I bought this with my own cash. Just in case there was any controversy, I think, friends' prices or anything. No, this was bought with my own cash. Now, that's the box it comes in. Very plain, but it's fine. It's a box. It's the inside of the box that's lovely. You get this lovely little pouch, which seems to be fairly well made. Nice little pouch. It'll get thrown on top of my cupboard because I don't keep my knives in pouches. I keep them in a big box beside me or in drawers. But it's a nice thought. And if I ever have to go anywhere, I'll have it. So, right, first of all, let's take the knife out. It comes in a wee plastic bag, and then it's just the knife. How lovely is that? How simple looking is that? But also, in the pouch, you get this beautiful, I take it that is the Ferrum Forge design handkerchief, which is just lovely. It really is nicely done and sewn in. It really is. I have to say, it's nice and thick, soft. Very, very nice. So that is a nice wee touch. This knife only costs $90. I think they used to be 80, but they've gone up to 90. So you get Massdrop on the front. But that's all right. That's fine. That's where I got it from. So there's the knife. What size is the knife? Right, let's just see. We'll put her back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just under 7. With a cutting edge of just over 2.5 inches, and the full length is just under 3 inches, and then you have a just under 4-inch handle. So it's just my perfect size for an EDC. 4 and 3, not quite 3, but it's close enough that makes no difference whatsoever. Let's give you a couple of comparisons so you can see what size it is. There is the Benchmade mini grip, and it is just a little bigger than the mini grip. Here's one of my little favourite knives. I don't really get out that much. It's the Kaiser Shoal. And again, it's just a wee bit bigger than it. Really lovely knife, the wee Kaiser Shoal. And the Benchmade mini grip. What else have I got that's somewhere near? There is the Zero Tolerance 0450. Which is just a little bit bigger. I mean, this is the perfect, another perfect Gent's knife. It's a beautiful knife, slim in the pocket, as this is. S35V, S35V, so very comparable, except this is titanium. There's the difference. And for the last comparison, there is a wee HX Outdoors knife, which is carbon fibre. It's G10, but a beautifully finished and looking knife. But again, it's around that. It's about the same size, near enough exactly, as the Gent. So it's Ferrum Forge Gent, and it's made in conjunction with WE. Let's put them knives out of the way. So it's made in conjunction with WE. They designed it. We have made it. Now, so far out of the box, it's easy to get across here and disengage it, and that is just beautiful. The other knife that I could nearly compare it to is, now, that's still a wee bit faster. I keep saying that this wee knife, it's been around years, but that wee knife doesn't have thump it out. But by no means is this a slouch. By no means is this a gate. That just comes out really fast. And I love the blue G10. It did have carbon fibre. I could have got it, but I don't need a carbon fibre one. I like G10 because it's more likely to get used. If I don't have fancy stuff, I'll use it. And I want this as a user. Really, really enjoyed the action on it. Beautiful. So let's have a few wee measurements. Let's see how heavy it is. It feels incredibly nice. I haven't weighed it at all yet. I haven't looked at the specs because I wanted to go through it myself. I didn't want somebody else's view on this knife. So it is 68 grams. An ounce is 2.4. So, I mean, it's just an absolute... I mean, you've got G10, which is beautiful. You have titanium scales. It's incredibly thin. I'm going to measure that in a minute. And this is the bit that I love. Look at that little pocket clip. If that isn't a gentleman's pocket clip, I don't know what is. It just, I know I've heard people saying that they don't like it. I mean, I've seen videos in this, but they were sort of from a year ago when it first came out. And I've heard people saying they didn't like this, it pulled off. Well, you know, maybe it does. I don't know. I think it's beautiful. It's quite firm. I don't see that being a problem getting into my pocket whatsoever. The standoffs, it's just got the one standoff there at the back. As I say, titanium liners. There's nothing, there's no, let me just see that. There is no jimping on this. But I mean, it really just pulls back. I genuinely don't think, I tend to push button a lot of mine. And that just shoots out. I don't need, if I had to do the light switch, you know, I can see me maybe slipping off it. But because it's so small and I put the fat of my finger on it, I would find that very hard to feel. Now, it is a knife you can feel. You can, I'm just going to, there you are. You can light switch it and do it very lightly and it will feel it. But there would be no reason ever to do that. You just have to push the button or light switch it. The detent on it is perfect. It just sucks it in there. You heard that. I mean, it's just absolutely perfect. And for a light knife, there you go. It's closed. It really is. Obviously on bearings. Just a beautiful knife. Now, let's get you the spine of her and see what she is. Let's turn that on and we'll get the spine of her for you. So, the spine is 0.12 of an inch, and in millimeters, that's 3 mil. So it's a 3 mil spine. And across the back here, it's 11 mil or 0.44 of an inch. So very, very thin. I mean, you really are not going to feel this little boy in your pocket. And I say boy because he's got a nice blue coat on for a boy. You can have it left or right, tip up. So, did I do tip up? Yeah, tip up. It's just, look, I can get 3.5 fingers safely on there and I could use it like that without a problem. It's got a sharpening choil come choil. Now I can put my finger in like that and have no fear. Now it's close, but if you can see there, I don't know what you can see, it's not going to do me any harm. To be honest with you, I'm not going to do any hard work with this. You know, what's the point of doing hard work with a wee knife like this? If I had to, if it was something hitting the fan, well then fair play, you're not going to worry about your knife. But I'm not going to do hard work with this as such. Cutting up cardboard boxes will be the hardest work, and maybe a bit of rope or something, but nothing drastically hard. I might whittle with it because it's S35. S35 VN is an amazing steel. It's just a great penknife steel or cutlery steel. It's just perfect. It was made for that purpose. So it might be a nice knife to take whittling. And I quite like, I know you can use, I can use my slip joints, but when I'm whittling, I quite like having a wee locking knife. It's just one of them wee things. A lock back slip joint, whatever. But this would be lovely. And it just buries away in the pocket. It's just gorgeous. The blade shape is so neutral. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. I'm just going to get it out here. It reminds me very much of that. And to me, that just looks like, there's your bug out. Do you know, I never even put them two together. The bug out's got a bigger handle, obviously, but the blade length is not that much difference. The cutting edge, the bug out has about 1/4 of an inch on it. But you know, that it's that sort of shaped blade. This is one of my favourite, well, it is my favourite everyday use knife. Every day, this is just a favourite. It's just such a good knife, all-rounder. It's light, it's under 2 ounces. So, you know, but this is light enough. It is beautiful. With titanium, that's just plastic. Everything about it is finished incredibly well. And look, to be honest with you, not that I started off wanting to dislike this knife. I wasn't sure. I bought it and I wasn't sure if it would be something that I really wanted. And it is something I really want. It is a beautiful knife. And you can sort of see just how small it is. It's just a bit bigger than your dollar bill. Just a bit bigger. But just everything about it is just a gentleman's knife. It's a knife you can take out and do anything. Have your lunch with it. Take it out in the office floor to cut boxes. Nobody's going to be frightened of it. I always think a bright blue handle or a bright yellow or a bright green takes an awful lot of fear out of knives. So how did it come from the factory? It's not bad. It's not great up at the... about... I was going to say about a quarter of an inch from here. The width of that nail there is not very sharp, but the rest of it is sharp. It's sharp enough. Let's put it like that. It's sharp enough. It'll do just rightly. So what am I going to use it for? It's an EDC knife. You know, it's a no-brainer EDC knife. It is just such... It's so simple. There's absolutely nothing complicated. They've done this sharpening choil, cum choil. It's quite small. I mean, I haven't got particularly small hands. Now, when I push against this, I'm quite happy that that's safe, if you can see the difference. And I can get a bit more, and I can get the creak of my finger in and push it in there, and I know I can do a wee bit of heavy work if I needed to do it. But most of the time with knives like this, I pinch grip. To be honest, whether I'm cutting cardboard boxes, anything, that's what I'll do. But two smalls, very small screws, very small torques, I would say. They look to be 6. I haven't even checked that, but they look to be T6. Let me just check that. Yeah. T6, what is it? It's all right. It's a bit wobbly, but it's all right. You know, I don't see it being a problem. It's just, you need 2 to undo this. I would have thought... but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the pivot... It must be under the scale, so you must have to undo... Yeah, the pivot's up here. So the pivot screw must be underneath here. I haven't taken this apart. I will do an all before I do my review on it. I just wanted a real good first look at it. And the G10, if you look at it, it doesn't come right up to the ends, which makes it feel more beveled. It's already chamfered around here, but that wee distance just makes the knife feel incredibly comfortable in hand. This pocket clip gets in here, and it's not causing me any discomfort whatsoever. And when I go up there, it's literally no feeling. So, $90. To me, that's just great value. For me to buy a knife of this standard for that price, it's nearly unheard of over here. So that's, what's $90? About £75. That is just gorgeous for £75. I am just thrilled with it. And I know Ferrum Forge, for all said and done, and they have checked, I believe their blade steel is quite good on this. I will put it to use. I'll get the cardboard out and do my test on it, which is not scientific. I just cut cardboard and see how well it performs. But there we go. So small, yeah, the T6 on the... this pocket clip is so unusual. I keep looking at it and then, you know, I become fascinated. Is this going to work? But it's actually quite thick. Let me just let you see that. You see that? It's actually quite thick. So I don't see any reason why that should bend any more than another pocket clip. Although it is slim, but it, you know, it's steel. It's not titanium or anything. So the markings on the blade on this side. Let's just get this up here and have a wee quick dander at it. Come on. It's quite hard to see, I have to say. Can you, let's see, am I holding that wrong? It does go away. Oh, there we go. There we are. It says Massdrop in really small letters and S35PN below it, very lightly etched into the blade. But when you turn at some angles, look at you, you've seen it, you lose it. So, I mean, it really is very, very minimal. I don't mind Massdrop. I mean, again, that's where I bought it from, so why would I worry about hiding it? On the other side, absolutely nothing. So they really haven't gone to town on the... I thought they would have had the Ferrum Forge crest or something on it, but they don't seem to have anything whatsoever. But it really, I'm still looking at it as much as you are. You know, it's just lovely. I really love the look of the G10, and you know I love my blue. That's a knife I'm excited about. Really excited about. That's a knife that, you know, that will add to my collection. I'm trying to thin down my knife collection and getting rid of, you know, quite a lot of knives at the minute. So, you know, it's lovely. I want to bring in knives. Look, I suppose as the channel's growing, I want to bring in knives. Now, this is not, well, you know, it's under £100. It's not budget for me whatsoever. You know, £75 is not budget. 50 and under, actually 40 and under would be what I would call budget, and 40 to 60 is sort of mid-price, or 40 to 100 is mid-price. Over that, you're talking very expensive to me. So this is somewhere in the middle. It's a knife that, you know, I'd be very proud to carry that. And is it a Gent's knife? It's called the Gent. Well, yes, it is. It really is a Gent's knife. It's so slim in the hand. Look, it's just so slim. Everything about it says just slip it in your slacks pocket. It doesn't ring for a jeans pocket, which most of the time that's what I wear. But let me tell you, I love it. Thank you very much. I know that went on a wee bit. I'm now going to go and sharpen it and get this ready for a test. So I'll give it I'm not going to do a full sharpening. I was just sitting there. Oh yeah. I've got the stuff ready for this is over. I'll probably just use a ceramic to do it. Then strop and a bit of diamond paste. I've a couple of strops there. And that should bring that up to screaming sharp. That's going to last me as an EDC knife. And then I'll test it. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I'm really, really impressed so far. Well done. We and Ferrum Forge. So, there we go. Take care. Bye now.